In his lecture, Bucaille quoted verse 66, chapter 16. O people, in cattle there is indeed a sure lesson, an instructive sign for you. We give you to drink of what is within their bellies, produced alongside excretion and blood, a pure milk, pleasingly palatable to those who drink it. Once he started his lecture, Bucaille found himself in an uneasy situation amid the elite of France's medical scientists. How his argument, he thought, would ever gain ground with a thesis based on a statement taken from a 14th-century-old religious book. Milk flowing purely alongside excretion and blood is a piece of modern-day physiological knowledge. The Quranic text is characterized, Bucaille found out, by an abundance of references to science-related observations in the animal world, be it small like ants, spiders, and bees, or big like cows. The existence of organized animal communities and their behavior is also observed. The Quran's general term for the animal kingdom is cattle. Bucaille noted that these observations do subtly invite a scientist's curiosity to perform scrutiny under the light of modern science. In doing so, Bucaille insists on reminding his reader of his repeated warnings. All science-related references in the Quran are scattered all over the book, not to establish a scholarly textbook, but only as exhibits of the absolute might of the Creator. Not to a great deal of his surprise, Bucaille concluded that not a single Quran commentator, from the old or the new breed, could explain the true meaning of the milk verse. The reason being the sheer scientific nature of the content. Hence, a sure scientific background is definitely required to obtain a sound interpretation of scientifically connoted verses. Applying only linguistic methods to such verses, he said, is absolutely not acceptable. Assisted by his impressive knowledge of the Arabic language, Bucaille went on in his lecture. The notion of a primary origin of the constituents of milk is expressed in the verse by the Arabic word min, in English from, and the existence of a conjunction is specified by the word baini. The latter not only signifies among, but also between. So it is used to express the idea of bringing two things or people together. Based on language and science, Bucaille cited to his colleagues his version of the milk verse, saying, "To me, the most valid translation of verse 66, chapter 16, should be as such. Verily, in cattle, there is a lesson for you. We give you to drink of what is inside their bodies, coming from a conjunction between the contents of the intestine and the blood, milk pure and pleasant for those who drink it." Bucaille resumed, "In order to completely understand the full meaning of the verse, we need to consult the science of animal physiology. The substances that ensure the general nutrition of the body come from chemical transformations which occur along the length of the digestive tract. These substances come from the contents of the intestine. On arrival in the intestine at the appropriate stage of chemical transformation, they pass through its wall and towards the systemic circulation. This passage is effected in two ways, either directly by what are called the lymphatic vessels, or indirectly by the portal circulation. This conducts them first to the liver, where they undergo alterations, and from here they then emerge to join the systemic circulation. In this way, everything passes through the bloodstream. The constituents of milk are secreted by the mammary glands. These are nourished, as it were, by the product of food digestion brought to them via the bloodstream. Blood therefore plays the role of collector and conductor of what has been extracted from the blood, and it brings nutrition to the mammary glands, the producers of milk, as it does to any other organ. Here, the initial process, which sets everything else in motion, is the bringing together of the contents of the intestine and blood at the level of the intestinal wall itself.
What, for you, really impressed you personally?
Physiology, the origin of the constituents of milk. Imagine, with the word midbeini fartin, what that means. That is exactly the announce of the digestive absorption. It's a fact. It is very clear for me.
Bucaille concluded the first part of his presentation saying, "This very precise concept is the result of discoveries made over centuries in chemistry and physiology of the animal digestive system. It was totally unknown at the time of the Prophet Muhammad and has been understood only in recent times. The first significant discovery was that of the circulation of the blood made by William Harvey and published in his book On the Motion of the Heart and the Blood in 1628, roughly 10 centuries after the Quranic revelation. I consider that the existence of a verse referring to these discoveries in the Quran cannot be supported by any human explanation solely on the simple account of the period in which the Quran was revealed."